What it do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Axis of Combat podcast, episode 68. Today, we're going to be breaking down UFC Vegas 97, Burns, Brady. As always, it's your boy Ray Boogie, Rayo from the AO, Boogie Kahuna, my co-host.
Hugo the boss, Hugo got next. Hugo got that Yankee fit because, you know, sometimes I wake up feeling like a loser. And this completely captures the ambiance of how I'm feeling. With that said, you're ready to the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know.
First fight on the card, as currently constituted by Tapology, we have a light heavyweight bout featuring OSP, Ovince Preux, going one-on-one with Ryan Superman Spann. Preux, 27-17, fighting out of Knoxville, Tennessee, representing Haiti, 41 years old. Ryan Spann, repping Texas, 33 years old, 21-10 overall. This is not a good way to kick off this card, if I'm being completely honest with you. If this is what they're going to bring straight out of Labor Day, I mean, yikes. Got battled mid here. We got OSP, who...
Not GSP.
Not GSP, but, you know...
Not JSP.
Not even JSP. I mean, back in the day, OSP, solid fighter.
He shouldn't be fighting anymore.
He has... for lack of better words, he's found the fountain of youth, you know, or, you know.
USADA's gone.
His local pharmacy, I think he's found. He's been looking all right recently. I mean, his last fight against Jaqueline, probably should have won that fight. Didn't let his hands go. St. Preux ate a couple shots, was able to, you know, throw a wrench into the Kennedy and Jaqueline hype. He's going against Ryan Spann here. Ryan Spann got all the talent in the world, but mid. It's just mid. His IQ is scary. He's got the power. He's got the grappling.
It's crazy.
He goes for submissions. This guy should be like a top 5 fighter.
Yeah. Talent-wise.
For some reason.
He just doesn't put it together.
So now we got these guys mixing and matching. They're battling off right now. And I'm going to pick Spann. Because he has all the tools. In the first round, I think it should be a first round KO. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. He's going to have the quicker hands. He hits hard. He's got the, I guess, wrestling upside, but not really the grappling upside. This fight does fucking stink. Just being completely honest with you. I don't like, from a betting perspective, betting Ryan Spann at favorite odds. Don't like it at all.
We're not going to either.
OSP at dog odds, considering he's found his local pharmacy. I mean, the Fountain of Youth. Probably not the worst. I think this is one of these fights where it's like I could see an OSP sub, the same Preux choke.
Yep.
The Von Flute. Ryan Spann should win. What do you think?
I agree with you. Ryan Spann has all the tools to be light heavyweight champion, to be honest. Big, probably one of the biggest guys in this division. Hits hard, good grappling, as you mentioned. Just low fight IQ, man. This fight's a big fucking stay away for a lot of reasons. But if you had to make a bet, it can't be at minus 300 on Ryan Spann. He shouldn't be minus 300 against his own grandmother. I think his grandmother could catch him. With a good shot, put him down. I believe it. I'm sold on this. I think you have to play OSP. Like, if you're going to play this fight. I don't advise anyone to play this fight. But I tell you what, though, even me, if this line gets up to like plus 350, plus 4, I will play OSP. It's a system play.
And it literally just comes down to Spann's IQ.
Yeah.
Some bets I'm looking at, maybe Spann under round and a half. Because if this goes beyond round and a half, I mean, OSP probably going to take over.
Thing is, I think
OSP shouldn't be halfway into a second round with anybody.
And Jekyll has the tools to be a top 5 guy too, though. You know, and
he does.
And OSP set his ass back. So I don't know. Plus, I still feel like OSP's kind of still fighting for his job a bit. So
I think both these guys might be fighting for a job, but I mean, I don't know.
Ryan Spann, I don't know. It's light heavyweight. They lack light heavyweights.
Yeah.
OSP is washed, dude.
I mean, but Contender Series is here. I mean,
but Pharmacy is here too. Big Pharma.
You mean no? Big Pharma.
Big Pharma to you.
That's bars.
I'll just being honest. I think you have to play OSP if you're gonna play anyone in this fight, because this fight literally is 50-50 in my opinion, just because of Ryan Spann's fight IQ. But yeah, Ryan Spann's the lean, but I don't know if I'm gonna touch this fight.
Next fight on the card at men's lightweight, we have Rongzhu going against Taco Chris Padilla. Rongzhu, 25-5, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 24 years old. Chris Padilla, Taco, 14-6, fighting out of Cali, 26 years old. Interesting fight at lightweight. I'm going to be leaning, as a pick, Rongzhu. I think on the feet, I don't think there's any kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
There's no threat.
I wouldn't say threat, but I think Rongzhu striking is very good. Padilla's striking, serviceable, but Padilla's game plan is to grapple you, wrestle you, and then, either beat you up or sub you out, right? This isn't Rongzhu's first rodeo in the UFC. He's 24. He's still very young. After his Bahamundes fight, I think he ended up getting cut, ended up having to come back via the road to UFC. I'm going to say Rongzhu gets this done. If this fight is on the feet, I don't think it's that close. I think Rongzhu's takedown defense is decent, and I think his grappling is okay. I think there is a path here for Chris Padilla, and I'm saying like second, third round sub. If you like the Chris Padilla side, if it goes to decision, I don't think he's gonna win.
Correct.
Unless there's a lot of control involved, and I don't really see it too much, but I think he's live for a sub because a lot of Rongzhu's losses are via sub. Padilla in general, I think he's good. Not great. I think this is a good reintroduction for Rongzhu. I really like him as a prospect. I really like his striking, and I think he has improved in the grappling and wrestling side. So I'm picking Rongzhu here, probably by KO. But if it goes to decision, he probably wins that as well. But in terms of a bet, don't really have anything yet. I might be looking at some props. I got to look at the line because I'm not sure where that's at either. But Rongzhu's the side for me. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you on Rongzhu. I think Chris Padilla, this is a little bit of a market correction. I think he's like the ultimate journeyman, to be frank. No, all props to him, man. I don't want to disrespect him or anything like that. I'm just speaking in terms of his career and who he's beaten and who he hasn't beaten. He had Lontop in his UFC debut, and he filled in last minute, but Lontop's takedown defense is hot shit.
Well, Peruvians, they don't wrestle. They don't wrestle.
There's no wrestling program down there. And it's not to shit on him, but his striking's pretty good. He hits pretty hard. Once Padilla got there to the floor, it was over within the next minute. Literally. Not even.
Yeah. Because he finished him in the first round, if I remember. Yeah.
I think Rongzhu is a much tougher opponent, much more experienced opponent, much better striker. The only thing Padilla does better than him maybe is cage push and control, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold Rongzhu in those positions, especially because I think they're dimensions-wise, they're about the same size too. So I don't see a world where Padilla's gonna bully him either. Yeah, I like Rongzhu here, probably by knockout. I don't know if I'm gonna play it, but Rongzhu's definitely the lean.
Next fight on the card at men's featherweight, we have, I don't know how to say his name. It's Brazilian for something. It looks like maybe Mosquito, but I'm probably being completely wrong. Gabriel Santos going one-on-one with Yizha. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Please don't crucify me for that one either. Santos, 10-2 overall, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 27 years old. Yizha, 25-4, fighting out of China, hailing from China, 27 years old. Yizha, another road to UFC guy. This is his second attempt. He didn't win the first road to UFC that he was on. Immediately just made the turnaround, jumped into the next season, and, was able to get it done. I think he's good. I don't think he's great. Being completely honest, I think his striking's okay. His grappling is a little better than his striking. Gabriel Santos, I just think, is a problem. People might be sleeping on this guy a bit. For me, maybe I'm putting the horse before the carriage. I think he's got top 15 potential, in my opinion. His debut fight, short notice, had success. His last fight
was winning, so it wasn't.
Yeah. Lost both fights, but I just think he's just better everywhere. The grappling is there for him. The wrestling is there for him. I would say Gabriel wins this, maybe ITD, but as a pure pick, I am going Gabriel here. From a betting perspective, I don't know how I want to attack this one in particular, but I do think Gabriel probably gets it done ITD. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Gabriel Santos, you could argue he beat Lerone Murphy. You could argue he was working David Onama until David just caught him with a good shot and put him out. I do think he has the goods. For this guy in particular, I think this matchup is almost like a thank you for stepping in short notice. And I think Onama was a short notice fight too, I feel like it was. But maybe I might be wrong about that. I know the Lerone Murphy one for sure was.
Yeah, I don't recall the Onama one. It might have been, but for sure the Lerone Murphy was. And that one went to split decision. That was a good fight.
Lerone's a beast, man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lean Gabriel here just because I'm not sure Yizha is that good. I'm not sold on his goods. Gabriel Santos, probably ITD.
Next fight on the card at men's middleweight, we have Andre Petroski going one-on-one with the mindless Hulk, Dylan Budka. Petroski, 11-3. I don't know why I laughed there.
The mindless Hulk.
Listen, the nickname, okay, I give it to you. 7 out of 10.
6.
The fighter, we'll get into that one after the intros here.
Horrible fight.
Spoiler. Petroski, 11-3. Fighting out of Pennsylvania, 33 years old. Budka, the mindless Hulk, 7-3. Fighting out of Ohio, 24 years old. Essentially grappler versus grappler here. I'm going to lean Petroski. I think he's the better striker. I think he's hard to take down. He's got the grappling. He's got the submission upside, in my opinion. I think Budka is mid. I mean, listen, I think Petroski's also mid, but Budka definitely mid. If Budka lets his hands go, I think the fight is definitely different and probably way more competitive. If Budka fights the way he's been fighting, where he just goes to this wrestling, grappling, cage pushing, control shit without throwing any hands, it's going to be a long night for him. I think Petroski can probably out-wrestle him. Budka is just, I don't know. He talks a lot of shit, but doesn't really back it up. Like that Cesar made a fight.
Talked a lot of shit to Cedric Dumas too, and they didn't fight him. They didn't want to sign the fucking contract.
I won't lie. Was it Twitter Spaces or it was an Instagram thing? That shit was hilarious. Him and Cedric is going back and forth. Petroski is gonna be the pick for me in terms of a bet. Petroski at minus money is
250.
Is gross. Absolutely gross. Can't trust this man. He's knocking himself out on his own hips, on other people's hips. I mean,
brother, this guy stinks.
To be fair, he did win that round against Malkoun,
which is why we're both, and I'm gonna jump in. We're leaning him against the mindless Hulk here. When you do that to yourself, it's like
this one just stinks.
Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah, it stinks.
You're not laying juice out minus 250 for Petroski, who could knock himself out. The ultimate meme knockout ever.
Yeah.
He memed himself.
Like,
how do you...
Insane.
What are you doing?
Insane. I just can't get over that.
Yeah, I can't. It's an ugly look, man.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to beat Malkoun. He was winning that fight. And in this fight, this is a guy who doesn't have Malkoun's gas or his striking. And Petroski's better than him everywhere. He's better in the wrestling. He's the better grappler, and I think he hits harder. I mean, it's every reason to like Petroski, but at minus 250,
I can't support that.
Stinks. If he wins, he wins. Good on him.
Not in this economy.
Just don't meme yourself again. He might meme himself again because this guy's gonna wrestle into him.
I mean, again, if Budka lets his hands go, I think it's a different fight. Because I think the way to beat Petroski is to just throw volume at him and just really fuck up his rhythm.
Right.
Be first, throw strikes. And Budka has the potential. He's done it before in the regionals. Just hasn't done it in a while.
Not the UFC level.
And hasn't, his only UFC fight definitely didn't do it.
Even Dana was reluctant to sign this guy. He kind of just said, yeah, sure. Yeah, like that's...
And he was supposed to cut down in weight.
Yep.
Dana White initially
wanted him at 170.
At 170, yep.
Yeah, and
he's like, nah, fuck it. I'm mindless Hulk, brother.
He is small for 85, and Petroski's big for 85. So actually, no, Petroski's all right for 85 because he's more of a 70-pounder too. He kind of cuts as well. So
battle the mid.
Big stay away. This fight just stinks. It stinks, man. So Petroski's the lead, but nothing else to add.
Next fight on the prelims at men's featherweight, we have the Midwest Chopper, Isaac Dulgarian, going one-on-one with the kid, Brendon Marotte. Chopper, 6-1, fighting out of Kansas, 28 years old. The kid 8-2, fighting out of New Hampshire. Who fights out of New Hampshire? There's not so many fighters out of New Hampshire, right? I feel like 28 years old. Marotte, I'll start off with him because it's going to be brief. He's a New England cartel guy. He got brought in, short notice, flatlined in 20 seconds.
By McKinney. Yep.
By Terrence T-Rex McKinney. Dulgarian is just Dulgarian's the side. Obviously, he's the pick. Dulgarian, this is going to be a bounce back fight for him. Because
I think first or second round, low key.
Yeah, it should be inside the distance. Marotte, I mean,
there's the pack up of the week.
They would have been packing them up.
He can offer some resistance on the feet because I think he's better than his last fight against T-Rex. But Dulgarian's just like, God, I just love his style. Dulgarian. His style, his super aggressive.
He lost to C-Rod, but you can argue he won that fight too.
100%. That fight was close. I did edge C-Rod, but
yeah.
I mean, Dulgarian just paces himself and doesn't look too gassed. I think his wrestling is superior. I think he takes him down, beats the shit out of him, and probably gets this done within the first 2 rounds. I'm just gonna be complete. This might be a Dulgarian special, so I'm leaning Dulgarian ITD, probably KO.
Yeah, he's a minus 1800, so you gotta find value in his first or second round.
Yeah, you really gotta dig for some props here. Don't please, look for some nicely plump numbers. Don't force a bet.
Follow us on social media.
Yeah,
we'll help you out with that.
We'll dig in and we'll find something. Hopefully, but
Dulgarian under a round and a half, maybe.
Possibly.
Might not be. It might be juice though. Maybe it's 200. I don't know. So
it could be.
But this fight might not be bettable.
It's the numbers are a little crazy right now, but
I agree.
I like Dulgarian. What about you?
I'm on Dulgarian for all the reasons. I'm not even going to go too far into it because you pretty much covered everything. I think he's just better than him everywhere, and I think he's going to work him like a summer job. That's what I think it is. Summer's almost over, but not for Brendon.
He's going to wish summer was over.
Brendon's picking up some extra shifts. He's going to paint the cabin at the beach or some shit.
Oh, shit.
He's getting worked. He's getting worked.
He's going to be cleaning some pools or something, bro.
He's going to be building a Shark Tower for fucking Roy Schneider.
Oh, shit.
Dulgarian first, second round, however he wants. Packing them up.
They would have been packing them up.
Next fight on the card, we have Jaqueline Amorim. And this is a strawweight fight. Should have said that first, for the women. It's Amorim going one-on-one with Vanessa Lil Monster Demopoulos. Amorim 8-1, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, but repping Brazil, 29 years old. Demopoulos is 11-5, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, but repping Greece, 35 years old. Damn, I didn't realize Demopoulos was 35. Yeah. And she's almost turning 36.
Yeah, dude.
I think this fight is probably going to be more interesting than, on paper, it's like, okay, not low level, but semi-low level women's fight here. I think Amorim is going to be the pick for me here. And I'm picking her because simply, just going down Demopoulos' record, I think this might be the best jiu-jitsu player she's fought. I know Demopoulos is, I know ambidextrous is the wrong word. She's like highly flexible. She's got the stripper background. She could, contort her body.
She's very athletic.
Rubber guard. She does all that, crazy shit on the ground. She's good. I think she's decent. My issue is I think she might fuck around and find out here.
Yeah. She plays around too much off of her back too. Yeah. In my opinion.
I think when it comes to the stand-up, she's going to, Amorim is going to have a 10-inch reach advantage. Amorim fought Corey McKenna her last fight, where she also had that same kind of reach advantage. Also, common opponent, Corey got beat by Amorim pretty easily. First round, armbar. Corey beat Demopoulos. I think that was a Contender Series fight, if I'm not mistaken. I think on the feet, this fight is probably interesting because I think Demopoulos could, even though she's at a disadvantage, she's uber aggressive and could probably overwhelm Amorim. But I just think Amorim is going to just find a way. First 2 rounds, sub 1 or 2. I think that's probably, from a betting perspective, that's probably where I'm going to look. Sub for sure. I'm going to look for Amorim. I think she gets it done by sub. She's the pick just as a slight dog shot. I don't think I hate Demopoulos as a dog shot. Sitting around 300 currently. Don't hate it. I did pick against her last 2 fights.
She lost to Ducote.
She technically lost to Ducote in my opinion, and I think she lost to the
Marotte, I think her name is. I forgot her name.
Yeah, what's her name?
Marotte.
Marotte.
So I got her first name and her last name mixed up.
You could make the argument probably for the Marotte fight, but I think for the Cody fight,
I thought she got worked.
I just thought the Cody hit her with the cleaner shit.
Yeah,
they just valued her forward pressure and her strike, like just her volume, I guess overall more. But I don't know.
Vegas loves Demopoulos.
Vegas does love Demopoulos. I mean,
and she holds it down for the town. So I just think I'm with you here on the dog shot, which is crazy. And the reason being is because of Amorim hasn't really been pushed in the last couple of fights. And you saw what happened with Sam Hughes, where she melted her.
I mean, listen, Sam Hughes probably should have been out that first round, low key.
Agreed, but
yeah,
as we always say, if we had wheels, we'd be fucking bikes, right? So it's I'm with you though. I'm not trying to diminish your point.
No, not at all. I completely understand.
But I feel like Demopoulos is someone that can make her work. I really do. On the floor, Amorim should sub her. If she makes Amorim work, if Demopoulos makes Amorim work enough, and she gets tired, this fight gets very interesting.
Yeah, because I trust Demopoulos' cardio 100%.
And her forward pressure and her power.
Yes.
Amorim hits hard, but she's only really hurt low-level girls. At this level, she hasn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
She's hurt herself with her cardio.
Yeah. I mean, she got the ground and pound win against was it Montserrat?
Yeah, but she should be fighting at 105.
I agree.
That her and like the Tisha Torreses and the Michelle Watersons of the world, they deserve a 105 division because they're just too small for 15. Amorim's a big 15, so it's like a dog or pass. Honestly, I don't know how you play Amorim comfortable, because can you comfortably say she's going to sub her? I don't know, even though I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel a little better about that than you do, but...
Yeah. No, I don't hate it. Yeah. I don't hate it because Demopoulos is going to give her those opportunities to get on top of her and work her game. So, but I don't know. This fight stinks. It stinks. It does. Dog or pass in my opinion, but I'll lean Amorim. She's the better technician here, but... If Demopoulos won, I'm not going to be surprised, especially with the fleecings that go on in Vegas for her. So, dog or pass is how I would bet it.
Next fight on the card at men's flyweight, we possibly have the fight of the night.
Yes.
Definitely like one of the fights I'm very looking forward to.
Surprised it's on the prelim, to be frank. It should move up.
I mean, just heads up, we're doing this like way in advance. So, the order might change, the bouts might change. I don't know. I mean,
correct.
But currently constituted is a prelim fight. This is men's flyweight. We have Andre Mascote Lima going one-on-one with Felipe Detona dos Santos. Man, that was a mouthful. Pause. Lima. Perfect. 9-0. Fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 25 years old. Felipe dos Santos is 8-1, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 23 years old. Good fight. Unfortunate that we have these two good prospects just going off so early in their career. But, it kind of probably, if these guys project the way they're projecting,
they'll fight again.
They'll fight again. And I think this fight's going to be good. It's close. It's a pick 'em. And I think rightfully so. I think Lima is the more technical striker, in my opinion. He's got the kickboxing background. He throws with authority. I think he's a little low volume, but he's precise.
Correct.
Thumps hard. His leg kicks hit hard. They hit hard. Pause. Felipe, in my opinion, I think he's the more dynamic fighter, the more dynamic striker. Don't know how he's going to deal with the leg kicks, but I think he has more tools in terms of how he kind of just goes about his striking in general. The ground game is going to be pretty interesting. I think Lima's a little underrated, but I do give the edge to Felipe. Felipe does train in the better camp, in my opinion. He trains with Charlie Olives and what's that, Chudo Box? I'm gonna lean Felipe.
Chudo Box, Diego Lima.
There you go. I'm gonna lean Felipe here as the pick. He's fought probably the better Brenda comp. I mean, he debuted short notice against Manel Kopp and, gave Kopp a run for his money. Felipe, I think he's got some more tools, a little more dynamic. I think if he makes Andre uncomfortable in terms of the pressure, I think I think Felipe could probably squeeze this one out. I am worried about how he's going to deal with Lima's leg kicks. The grappling is always going to be pretty interesting, but this is another fight I go back and forth on. Again, rightfully a pick 'em. But give me Santos. I think I'm picking Santos for now. What about you?
Yeah, this fight's a pick 'em, and it should be a dog or pass spot for anybody who's listening. But I think there's a dog or pass spot. But since it's a pick 'em, me and my brother are going to defer here. I'm going to go Lima. And I'm going to go Lima because I think Lima has the better stand-up. I think Lima has more opportunistic jiu-jitsu. Felipe dos Santos is a better version of Igor Severino. The pressure, the way he throws volume, the wrestling, it's not great wrestling, but the jiu-jitsu's there. I just think Lima's going to have answers for it. Lima has very good get-ups against the cage. Lima has very good takedown defense initially and on the back end if he does get taken down. And I think Lima is not going to be bullied by this guy. If Manel Kape was a finisher, he would have stopped Felipe dos Santos in his fight. Lima can stop you with all 4 limbs or 8 limbs if we're talking Muay Thai. And I just think Felipe his striking defense alarms me a little bit in this fight. With that said, if he's a dog, I think you have to play him. I think this is definitely a dog or pass spot. That's how close this fight can be.
Yeah, see, even thinking about it like as you talk about it, like I do lean Lima's chin is probably way better than Felipe's chin. I can see Felipe just hitting the ground like 7 times.
Correct. Just from precise punching and kicks and knees and the thing is Felipe has decent weapons too, and I think better fight experience. So that's why this fight's very difficult, but he is like a bigger, better Igor Severino. And if, Lima was winning that fight.
I think this fight goes the distance. That might be probably from a betting perspective, that might be the safer probably thing to play if you like.
Yeah, because even though Felipe might get dropped, I don't think he gets finished.
No. Yeah.
His jiu-jitsu is so good.
Yeah, he reminds me of just like, for lack of a better term, like a Dollar Tree Charles.
Correct. Correct.
He's, not discount Charles, I guess not Dollar Tree. He's a little fucking disrespectful, but he fights a lot like Oliveira.
Correct. That's why the fight's interesting, but I just think Lima's got tools, man. He's the goods. He's very good. And Igor was a very good competitor till he bit him.
Yeah. Also, Lima, little sus takedown defense.
A little bit.
And, he does jump Gilly. And I don't know if he's going to get Felipe in a sub, but if he starts jumping Gilly on Felipe, that might be just advantage Felipe low-key.
Yeah, so. Felipe, and I'm picking Lima, and when Felipe has, I think, the wrestling and grappling upside.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's going to instigate that and cage push. That's why I think it's got to be dog or pass. I'm going to lean Lima, but it's got to be dog or pass in this fight, in my opinion. I don't think if it's a pick 'em, I'm going to pick Lima, but I don't know how I'm going to bet it because the fight's that close. But if you're asking me I gave more of the Lima breakdown because my brother gave the Felipe breakdown a little better. Yeah. So you see the contrast here, but
you might have moved me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm thinking about Lima hard right now too. So,
but the wrestling is there, so it's 100%. It's dog or pass. Lima's the lean, dog or pass.
Next fight on the card at men's featherweight, we have Kyle the Monster Nelson going one-on-one with Mean Machine Steve Garcia. Kyle Nelson is 16-5-1, fighting out of Canada, hailing from Canada, 33 years old. Mean Machine is 16-5, fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, 32 years old. Kind of a clash of styles here in terms of like pace, right? Interesting fight. I'm kind of going back and forth on this. I think I'm gonna say Garcia probably should win this, right? I think he throws in combo,
hits hard,
aggressive, hits hard, capable of stopping. He's kill or be killed, and I think if he's gonna win, it's gonna be inside the distance, right? That being said, I think Kyle Nelson is probably live here. Kyle Nelson thumps. He's going to be the more technical of the two guys. He's going to try to slow this fight down because I think when Kyle Nelson fights at a crazy pace, that's where he gets in trouble. Garcia is going to try to push the pace. I get Garcia being the favorite, but in terms of betting, I don't like betting Garcia at like juiced odds like that. I'd rather bet him as a dog. I think Kyle Nelson is probably a bit live here. And if you like the Kyle Nelson side, KO is very live because, again, just Mean Machine style is kill or be killed. So give me Garcia as the pick. I will be looking long and hard about a Kyle Nelson play on this. I don't think this goes. And it's literally just because of Steve. It's just the way he fights. But Garcia should win this. Nelson could be a bit live. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think Kyle Nelson's just going to Kyle Nelson you sometimes. And I think at dog odds against a guy who doesn't have the highest fight IQ, he's live. With that said, I'm not even going to touch what you said because I think the breakdown was pretty on point. I'm going to leave it just at that. I think Steve is the lean just for all the points that you mentioned, and I just mentioned the punching power. Steve should win. Don't know I'm going to bet it yet, but don't be surprised if I make a dog play on Kyle Nelson here. Dog or pass, Kyle Nelson. Steve Garcia for the lean, Kyle Nelson possibly for the play.
Next fight on the card at men's lightweight, we have a banger. We have Trevor Peek going one-on-one with Yanal, Red Fox Ashmouz. Peek 9-2, fighting out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, 29 years old. Ashmouz, the Red Fox, 7-1, fighting out of Israel, hailing from Israel, 29 years old. Banger of a fight. Definitely going to be a slobber knocker. Back and forth striking battle here. Pick 'em, and maybe not rightfully so. I am going to be leaning Ashmouz here. I know, Trevor Peek, UFC, internet darling. People love him. The people's champion. He's got a crazy style, standing hammer fist, crazy, just ballroom brawler. That's Peek. But Ashmouz, I know, didn't have like the greatest outing last fight.
Against Duncan.
Technically wasn't his fault. Broke his arm, like literally checking, a
kick,
defending a kick, and fought one-armed essentially the whole fight. But I think Ashmouz is just the better, more technical guy. Peek is just honing in the chaos. I think Ashmouz is more controlled. Give me Ashmouz here as the pick. Don't know how I'm going to play this. I'm probably going to dig into some props here, but I think Ashmouz should get this one done only because I just think he's the more technical guy. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Ashmouz he's got the better skills and he's got the wrestling upside here. And I think he can take and hold down Trevor Peek, even though Trevor Peek is a little bit of a nightmare to hold down.
He will definitely be stuffing those takedowns as well.
Yeah. Oh, Trevor Peek?
No, Ashmouz. I think Ashmouz's takedown defense is pretty solid.
It's fantastic.
Well.
Yeah. And you want the real, it's very close with who hits harder. Ashmouz fucking dog too. Like will stay in there and bang and throw it, throw the kitchen sink at you. Good chin. Doesn't get overwhelmed by big situations, even when he's compromised like he was in his last fight. This is a fight he can win. This is a fight that Trevor Peek can creep in late and steal. But it's hard for me to get behind Peek because he's so technically insufficient. I just feel like Ashmouz is going to find his shots and utilize the wrestling to control him when he needs to. Don't know how I'm going to play it, but Ashmouz is definitely lean. It's a pick 'em for a reason, just because Trevor Peek has a crackhead chin, low key, and crackhead energy. To be frank, like big crackhead energy. He looks like Walter Goggins, bro. Like,
he's got all the crackhead attributes minus the crack.
Walton Goggins and Justified with crack, like in his system. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe not. I mean, allegedly, but
Ashmouz, but like not the highest degree of confidence just because Trevor Peek is a crackhead. Like that's just what it is.
Next fight on the card at men's flyweight, we have Danger Matt Schnell. I mean, Danger for more than that nickname might play into factor here because Danger ain't the Danger he might be presenting. Going one-on-one with Alessandro No Costa. I'm not sure what the no means. I mean, in plain English, it just means no, but Brazilian might be something different. But anyway, Schnell, 16-8, fighting out of Louisiana, 34 years old. Costa, 14-4. Fighting out of Mexico, but repping Brazil, 28 years old. This is probably a little open and closed, in my opinion. I match Schnell, probably more technical, probably the slightly better, more technical striker. Might have some, some tricky shit when it comes to the grappling, but I think, in my opinion, this is gonna be Costa all day. I just can't trust Matt Schnell's chin. That's really what it boils down to.
And Costa thumps too.
And Costa hits hard
and can grapple. He does everything good.
He got lead in them pipes. He likes that Barry Manilow.
And Matt Schnell, not the best cardio either. He's a dog when he can stay alive.
Also, 34, pushing 35 in the flyweight division. I mean, you're pretty much old. Compound that with the dustpan chin.
And Steve Erceg, like, turning the lights off.
Yes, I mean, listen, they both lost to Erceg, right? But I think just Costa, younger.
More explosive,
faster. I mean, his only 2 losses are Urseg and Albazi, but that's nothing to really.
Elite, top 5 fighters.
I don't think Schnell is going to present any of those problems.
Maybe early, but that's it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we trust Costa's durability on this podcast.
Costa should clean him out. I like Costa. I like Costa by KO, probably first or second round.
Correct.
But
I agree.
that's the way I feel.
100%.
Next fight on the card, and is currently constituted the co-main event. At women's flyweight, we have Jessica Andrade, a.k.a. the female BMF. I'm not going to say her nickname here because I'm not sure what the hell that means.
Isteka, right? Isn't it?
Bate Isteka.
Yeah, that means pile driver, which is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what? Fitting.
Yeah.
Fitting. Going against probably another human pile driver here in Natalia Silva.
Yeah.
Andrade, 26-12, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 32 years old. Natalia Silva, 17-5-1, also fighting out of Brazil, also repping Brazil, 27 years old. Let's get to the short and sweet of this. I love Jessica Andrade. Like I said, female BMF, legendary. Like, all weight classes. She can give it to anybody at any time. Badass. I just think Natalia Silva, if she loses this fight, Natalia Silva fucked up somewhere.
I agree.
I'm a believer in Natalia. I think the footwork is like elite. She's going to give Andrade problems here because Andrade doesn't really cut off the ring. Fast hands. Hits hard, very solid takedown defense. I think Natalia Silva wins this, probably by decision.
I'm with you.
I am going to lean Natalia here. Can Andrade be live? I'll let my brother probably delve into that one a little bit. She probably is, but I think Natalia Silva is the side here for at least me and my brother. Definitely the pick.
By decision for sure.
Probably by decision. I think the over is hit here. Don't know how I'm going to attack it from a betting perspective, but I like Natalia here. What about you, my brother?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Natalia should be able to pick her apart, keep her on the outside. I think Natalia Silva is probably the future of this division. That's how good she is, especially if this is 115, right? No, it's 125. She is the future of the division. She's going to be a top 3, top 5 contender at some point. Her striking is really good. Her takedown defense is really good. The thing is, she hasn't fought a gorilla like Jessica Andrade yet. No one's really a gorilla like Andrade until you fight them. Yeah,
the physical strength is definitely going to be an interesting dynamic to see.
Yeah, because you can have good hips and have good position, but if she gets a high crotch on you, she's going to throw you. Yeah. There's a girl who subbed Amanda Lemos at 35.
Yes.
With a standing arm triangle. And she's having a full camp for this. The only problem with her, she does not cut off the ring. Natalia Silva has very good hips. I kind of like that this is at 125 and not at minus one at not minus. I was thinking betting odds, sorry.
Not at 115.
Not at 115. Yeah. Because I think I would have more optimism that she's gonna throw her around. But if she gets up to like plus 300, plus 350, I think she's got to be a system play just because she can put anyone's lights out with one shot. And I think she has the grappling upside low key. If she gets on top of her, or if she can wrestle her down, which she did do her last fight against. Who did she fight her last fight? Jessica Andrade.
Was it
Marina Rodriguez?
Oh no, it was Marina.
Took her down.
Yeah,
she was able to take her down. So I feel like this is a similar style. I just think Natalia's a little more proven, in my opinion, than Marina with the wrestling and the grappling and the takedown defense.
And way better takedown defense than
yes.
Yeah.
The striking's close. I think Marina maybe hits a little harder, but Natalia, I think, is more technical. Natalia still for the decision, but if this line gets out of control, Jessica Andrade's definitely a play.
Next fight up at men's welterweight, and has currently constituted the main event of the evening, we have Gilbert Burns going one-on-one with Sean Brady. Burns, 22-7, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 38 years old. Sean Brady, 16-1, fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 31 years old. Tough fight to kind of pick a side on. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been watching. I've been doing tape. I've been like going through a million different types of scenarios in my head. I think Sean Brady is probably ready to make the breakout that he needs to here. I'm going to be picking Sean Brady. I low to medium confidence. I think his striking's a little underrated. You watched the Bilal Muhammad fight. Yeah, he did lose that fight. But two things. I mean, Bilal Muhammad, current champion. Also, he was working Bilal Muhammad until Bilal was like, you know what, fuck it. Turned his brain off. Well, not really turned his brain off because Bilal's not the type to turn his brain off. But Bilal just like put a little more pressure, turned up the gas.
Correct.
And was able to clip Brady. And, he didn't let off the gas. Durinho, his last fight, I still think he's possibly alive here because I don't think he even looked that terrible against, I guess, compared to Brady, a better striker and Jack Della. But, Jack Della, with a broken arm, was able to get that done as well. Brady might be the side here for me. I don't think he's going to be afraid to be in Burns' guard, which sounds insane because Burns' jiu-jitsu is fucking top tier. Give me Brady here. But if the line gets super crazy, I think Burns definitely a live dog. And if Brady is going to win, it's probably going to be by decision because I don't think he's subbing him out, and I don't think he's going to knock out Burns. Burns still got the equalizer, still got the power. So,
correct.
What do you think, my brother?
Yeah, I think if the line gets out of control, you got to play Burns, dog or pass. But if you're asking me, I think Sean Brady is ready to make the leap. I haven't had the brightest thing to say about Sean Brady in this podcast. I faded him against Bilal when many others didn't. I knew what Bilal exactly was going to do to him. With that said, Gilbert's a little older. Don't trust his chin as much. I think the physicality is going to be a bit much for him in this fight. They both grappled Craig Jones, which you brought up to me, which is crazy. Sean actually beat Craig Jones. But he did beat him, and Gilbert got subbed by him. A lot of that I also feel is size. I want to see these two match up to get a more distinct read.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have to. I feel like Sean's going to be the bigger guy, especially the way he was moving around Calvin Gastelum, which was very impressive. I just think this is right timing for Sean Brady to make that step up. But if this line gets out of control, him playing in a world champion's guard, it's got to be dog or pass. I don't think Sean's knocking him out on the feet. He might drop him on the feet, but Gilbert might drop him on the feet. And I don't think either one of these guys is going to be afraid to go to the ground with each other. I don't. But if you're asking me, I think Gilbert has the more opportunistic turn your lights out jiu-jitsu, in my opinion.
Also, side note, what Sean Brady did to Kevin Gastelum was pretty impressive.
Was impressive because Calvin does have distinct wrestling and he bullied him around.
Yeah.
He's moving around, not distinct wrestling, like pretty good wrestling. If he can do that to Calvin, Gilbert, I'm not saying his wrestling's bad. I just think he's a blown up lightweight and he's going against a guy who's a bigger welterweight.
Yeah, physicality is definitely going to be like a key thing to kind of witness and experience in this fight.
Correct.
It's tough. It's a tough fight.
It's a tough fight to call. I might stay off of it just because it's anything can happen in this fight. Mm-hmm. The thing is, and Gilbert was winning against Jack until he wasn't. Like I played Gilbert, my brother played Jack, and he was sweating until Jack knocked him the fuck out. So
never in doubt.
Yeah. I'm just saying that fight was, But with that said, I think this is a dog or pass spot if it gets disrespectful towards Gilbert. I'm going to wait to see how this line shakes out. It might go lower for Brady, in which I'll play him, but I'm not going to lay minus 170 on a guy who I don't trust his striking, and he doesn't really go after subs as frequently as I would like him to, because he does have a couple of decisions on his record, if I'm correct. Sean Brady's the lean. Gilbert 8 decisions. Gilbert has the more fight-ending upside.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's only lost to, like, really good people.
To good fighters. Is Sean
Brady good enough is, like, the question that people need to answer in this fight. And it could be answered that night.
And does Sean have the punching power or the striking offense weapons to drop Gilbert late and stop him?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Brady's going to have to grind this one out. I think it's probably going to go to decision. But I don't know. I'm going to play this. This is one I need to see shake out. Sean's the lean. Gilbert might be the play if the line gets blown out. That's where I'm at with this.
And that's all we got, ladies and gentlemen, for the UFC. That's Vegas 97. We broke that motherfucker down. But, we also got some top ranked. And it's going to be like on a Tuesday, Monday night, because it's from the land of the rising sun. I don't got that much to say about it. I like Inoue, but I'm going to let my brother kind of briefly break this one down. I'm just going to, spoiler alert, I like Inoue. But the co-main, it might be a little more spicy, but go ahead, my brother. Take us away.
Yeah, Inoue is fighting TJ Doheny. Some people say Doheny. Doheny is 37 years old, a little alarming, a little bit on the older side for this division in particular. Did get dropped his last loss by Sam Goodman. I thought he got robbed against Bolota in Saudi Arabia. It looks like, no, Dubai rather. I thought he won that fight and he got robbed. But his last fight against Sam Goodman really exposed his age. Sam Goodman is, not Sal Goodman, but he's, it's all good, man, when he's fighting. He's a top bantamweight in this weight class. Very good boxer. Not the biggest punchers. Finished less than 50% of his fights and caught Doheny with a right hook coming in. Well, actually a left hook because Doheny's a southpaw. Sam was able to find the straight right every time on him from that stance. Doheny hasn't fought anybody like Inoue. The speed, the power. Doheny's tough. He's never been finished. I think he's going to get finished in this fight. 37 years old. He is dangerous early. I just think he doesn't possess anything that's going to really threaten Inoue. And Doheny's striking defense is also bad because he leans straight back. Doesn't really angle sometimes when people are throwing punches, which is why I think the straight right's going to find its home and get him out of there. I think it's going to be somewhere between the middle rounds, probably 3 to 8. I don't know I'm going to play it yet because it's probably going to be super blown out. But I think Inoue finds his chin, gives him his first knockout of his career. I think it's going to be probably bad. Like, and everyone who fights Inoue, it's going to be bad. But
real bad.
Whenever Doheny stepped up in competition, he's taken a step back. Sam Goodman dropped him, and Sam Goodman's not a puncher. What do you think Inoue's going to do to him?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. Now for the better fight, in my opinion, on this card.
The co-main event.
We have, let me get to it real quick. Yoshiki Takei going against Daigo Higa. This fight is a banger. I think this is a pure dog or pass spot. We picked Yoshiki against Maloney. We called that because I think he was a dog in that fight. And we played him and he won that fight.
Don't recall if he was a dog or not, but we definitely did pick him and we definitely did profit from that.
We definitely profit from that. Higa I think he has 21 wins. He's finished 18 of them. This dude is a puncher.
He's a hitter.
He's a hitter. Takei is a hitter.
He's definitely a hitter.
I like the knockdowns for this co-main and main. If you can get the over a half knockdowns and parlay them, play that. It's going to hit, in my opinion. Because I think Inoue is going to drop Doheny, and I think one of these boys is going to get melted.
Yeah, hopefully the numbers ain't that crazy. Definitely, yeah. I'm looking to parlay like a knockdown for the main and co-main for sure, but
100%.
Hopefully the numbers ain't crazy.
I agree. But Higa, he's very good. He's been stopped before. He's a little reckless defensively, but Takei is a kickboxer that's kind of transitioning into the sport. Very talented, not taking anything away, and not just transitioning. He's 9-0, beat Maloney, stifled Maloney's offense in that last fight, did a very good job. I just think that Higa, with his punching power and his explosiveness, he's still only 29 years old. This fight, him at plus 220, he's live as hell. Don't know if I'm going to pick a side in that fight because Takei can knock him out, but for sure, I like knockdowns in this fight. This card on Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, is fantastic. Tune into it in the morning. It's something nice to wake up to, especially before you go to work. Give me, as a lean, I'll lean Takei just because I like him. I like his game. He's made me money before. But I think this is a pure dog or pass spot. The line shows it as appropriate.
And that's all we got, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we broke down some MMA. We broke down some sweet science. But you know what? I hope y'all guys had a good Labor Day. Or have a good Labor Day. When is this releasing? This is releasing...
That's probably the Friday before.
The Friday before. So have a good Labor Day weekend. You know, again, we're filming this way in advance. So hopefully none of the fights change. Everything is subject to change. So I apologize in advance. I might leave a little note in the description. Who knows? But anyway, my brother, take us home.
You already know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying these visuals right now. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. Episode 68 in the books. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. Love you guys. We out.